What's up everyone, thanks so much for being here and welcome back to my channel. So in honor of Halloween, I decided to rank the Winx Club villains. So I'm basing this off of who the main villain of the story was, and secondary villains like Diaspro, Politia, and Obscurum won't be mentioned, and villains from World of Winx won't be mentioned as well, since I don't think it's canon. So a disclaimer, an audio disclaimer is that I was sick, so the audio that you're gonna be hearing throughout the video is half pre-recorded and me right now, which is sick me. So I'm so sorry for the poor audio and the inconsistency, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video because it was very fun to make. And yeah, happy Halloween.
Finally, freedom is mine!
In last place, we have Acheron. Now, a couple of things about Acheron. He sucks. He was a sucky villain. I mean, he was basically inside the Legendarium for the whole season and disappointed very, very much. Now, his goal was to aspire to become the most powerful wizard in the magic dimension. He actually made the Legendarium, but it was too powerful for him and he got trapped inside of it. He had a cool character design and he was set up to be this powerful villain. And if I'm being honest, I thought he was gonna be the next Valtor. But like I said, I was so disappointed when he finally got out of the Legendarium. I think if we saw more of him throughout this season instead of just in the Legendarium, he would have been amazing. Like, he was within 20 minutes of being out of the Legendarium. That battle between him and Bloom was just so underwhelming. I expected more from him. He was better and more interesting inside of the Legendarium than he was out of it. And he was just a wasted character and I didn't like him at all.
Don't you recognize your own sister, Brafilius?
Wait, but Kalshara? It sounds like you, but what happened?
At number 8, we have Kalshara and Brafilius. Their goal was to capture all the fairy animals of the magic dimension and acquire their power. Now, if Acheron had more than 20 minutes of screen time, these guys would have been lost. They are the worst villains in the entire show. I guess they were supposed to bring a lighthearted comedic side to being villains, but they just brought a lot of stupidity. Sometimes I felt bad for Brafilius because of how Kalshara treated him, but then I remembered he just sucks and he kind of deserved it. Kalshara wasn't that much of an interesting villain either. She was kind of dull and didn't bring much to the table, you know. Her demise was kind of appropriate, should I say, like a mediocre demise for a mediocre villain. And they just sucked in general. I hate them. I don't like them at all, and that's all I have to say about them.
It's toxic!
Up next, we have Tritannus. Now, Tritannus is the son of Neptune and tried to kill his own brother in order to overtake the throne. When I first saw Tritannus, I was unimpressed. I really don't know what to say about him. I mean, he was there. He's better than Kalshara and Brafilius, though. He was really boring in a way, and I definitely did not like the whole relationship between him and Icy. I mean, sure, I would have loved to see Icy happy, but he was just meh. I mean, Tritannus' thing was stealing powers, if I'm not wrong, and turning people into his minions and, you know, breathing in toxins. Besides that, I didn't see him do much. I mean, the Trix basically did all his work for him. Plus, he was so good looking before the transformation, so they took that away from us. And I only saw him properly fight once in the first episode. And throughout the whole entire season, he was kind of useless. And that final battle between him and his brother was just as mediocre as Bloom and Acheron in season 6.
Great pleasure. This is the Legendarium.
Next, we have Selina. Now we're getting to the villains I actually like. Selina was just so wonderful. She just wanted to harness all the powers of the Legendarium, which is why she agreed to serve Acheron. Her abilities to use the Legendarium was so cool. She is a master manipulator. The fact that the Trix thought that she was under their control when actually she was the one using them was just brilliant. And using her pass with Bloom in order to cloud her judgment and blind her from what's actually happening is just amazing. I gotta say though, I can't believe she didn't see that Acheron was gonna betray her. I mean, anyone with eyes could have seen that from a mile away. Her changing from good to evil within the blink of an eye because Acheron said so was just stupid. But overall, I really liked her and the skills that they gave her. And in the end, she did turn to the good side, so I guess she got that going on for her. At number 5, we have the Ancestral Witches. Now, I'm pretty sure people are gonna be mad at me for putting the Ancestral Witches so low, but I really don't know how to feel about them. They're supposed to be the most powerful witches in all the magic dimension, and yet I felt that but didn't feel it at the same time, if that makes sense. Throughout seasons 1 to 3, we were shown glimpses of how powerful they are and how they destroyed Domino. And when we finally got to see them in the first movie, it was really exciting. I mean, the power that they have over other people just shows how powerful they are. And not to mention how scary they were. I mean, I was terrified of them as a kid, and for good reason as well. The voice actors bring about this scary, wicked side to them, which is just perfect. It was also cool in the second movie seeing them possess the Trix and finally reveal the true power that they have. And to be fair, they destroyed a whole world, so that should just say everything about their power. I like them very much, and they bring some sense of nostalgia to me, but I wish I'd seen more of them.
So this is Althea, the famous fairy school.
Hello.
At number 4, we have the Wizards of the Black Circle. Now, I don't know if it's just me or what, but I always felt like the wizards were kind of like Valtor's sons in a way. They gave off this feel of like Valtor's successors. I don't know. But their goal was to rule the world by controlling nature's forces. They created a spell which makes them immune to fairy magic, which should just tell you how smart they are. Their powers are beyond amazing. The fact that the fairies' attacks made them stronger and their attacks just blew fairies out of the sky, like, just amazing. I mean, they basically won and achieved their goal. And I might be wrong here, but I truly believe that the only reason why they lost this time was because they lost their brother and there was 3 of them instead of 4. They were clever, witty, and overall amazing, and I loved them.
So, the girl dares to attempt an escape from my fortress. Worthless pixies, you think you are safe with her? But how wrong you are.
At number 3, we have Lord Darkar. Come on, Lord Darkar gave us Dark Bloom. Need I say more? He used Bloom's feelings in order to lure her into his grasp. He was able to capture the pixies and gave the Trix Gloomix, which was pretty cool. He's very powerful and come on, he's Lord Darkar. And this is irrelevant, but I kind of love the way he was so protective of Bloom. I mean, I know he was only using her, but all he had to do was take her powers and toss her aside. But he was so protective of her, like he didn't want anything to happen to her, which was kind of cool in a way because it shows that he has a caring heart. But yeah, besides that, he's dark and creepy. Like that character design, absolutely wow. He's so underrated. I feel like he's overshadowed by Valtor, and that's so unfair because he's such an amazing villain. And I'm not sure if this is real or not, but I read somewhere that Lord Darkar was actually the man above the Ancestral Witches, which means the Ancestral Witches served him, and so did Valtor. So that shows how powerful he is because he had Valtor and the Ancestral Witches under his control, which is just unfathomable, but I don't know how true it is. So yeah, that is why he's so great, and season 2 should get more recognition than it deserves, and so does Lord Darkar.
How long were you frozen?
17 years.
Were you awake the whole time?
Yep.
Ugh, sounds boring.
Gives you time to think.
About what?
About how you're going to get your revenge.
At number 2, we have Valtor. Now, I'm sure many of you are not gonna agree with me on this one, but hear me out. If we only had season 3 Valtor, then he would have been number 1. But they brought him back in the 8th season and ruined his whole character. Valtor was no longer Valtor. He was no longer the villain we knew and loved. He became a whiny crybaby, and to be honest, that basically overshadowed all his magical abilities in season 8. He sucked. Like, they stripped Valtor of everything that made him amazing. Like, I don't know why they brought him back, because Valtor was just perfect as he was. He was the perfect villain. He aspired to be the greatest sorcerer of the magic dimension by conquering each realm. He was so chill and mysterious, and that's one of the reasons why I loved him. He was a master manipulator, and the voice actor in the Nickelodeon dub did such an amazing job. Baltor brought fear into people's eyes, and he was really amazing. Like, he was his own boss, and then in season 8 he did someone else's bidding, which doesn't make sense because Valtor is not a person that serves people. People need to serve him. I mean, in season 8 even the Trix betrayed him. That would have never happened to season 3 Valtor. His magic and power was beyond amazing. I mean, he created a massive illusion to trick the heads of the schools to fight each other. If that isn't amazing, I don't know what is. Season 3 Valtor was it, and that is why he's my second favorite villain. Before we get to number 1, I just wanted to make a shout out to Mandragora. Like, she was so good for the main part of the movie. I know she wasn't the main villain, but I still consider her a main because she was there for almost 3/4 of the movie. She was good at torturing the Winx and all, and her powers were amazing. I mean, she hypnotized Riven, but I guess that's just on Riven's part because at this point, I feel like Riven is easily hypnotized by anyone and everyone. He's like the easiest target out there. But yeah, Mandragora's cool and her powers were awesome, but if I'm being honest, her downfall was talking too much. Mandragora talks too much, and I guess all the villains do that, but she just takes it to a whole new level, which is one of the things I didn't like about her. But besides that, she's a solid villain.
Still someone who doesn't know the tricks yet?
And at number 1, we have the Trix. I mean, who else would take the number 1 spot? I know people are probably gonna disagree with me because of Valtor, but we have been with the Trix through thick and thin since season 1. Yes, Valtor is powerful, but the Trix had the most impact and hold their own. Besides Selina in season 6, the Trix don't need any henchmen. Maybe Nut counts, but not really because they did most of the work themselves. They are the root of all evil. I see way Stormy and Darcy just work so great as a united front. They're just so vicious and cruel. It's amazing. But that doesn't mean they don't have their flaws. Like from seasons 5 to 8 when they brought them back, they didn't have that feel of being the Trix. I guess season 6 tried to bring it back, but nothing beats peak seasons 1 to 3 Trix. There's a reason why they were the first villains of this series and why they kept coming back. In my opinion, if they were to make a season 9, I hope that they don't bring them back because they are draining those girls. They are draining them of their amazingness, of their awesomeness, like seriously. I know the way they left season 8 was boring and left the story arc open. Like I didn't understand the whole Icy had a sister thing and she's the princess of another planet, but Stormy and Darcy are somehow her sisters. Cause they do say that Icy, Stormy, and Darcy are triplets, with Stormy being the youngest, Darcy the middle child, and Icy the eldest. And yet somehow, Icy has her own sister who's not related to Stormy or Darcy in any way. Like, seriously, what was with that storyline? So, I'm just wondering how that's gonna work out because it just doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. And I know they should resolve that storyline, but I just feel like it's time for the Trix to retire. But overall, I love them so much, and that is why they are my number one favorite villains. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments below who your favorite villain is. See you guys next time, and happy Halloween!